Hello again. I'm going to continue answering your questions that you asked me. I'm going to do question number 8. So I read the question. The question says, determine the equation of the tangent to the curve defined by y equal ln x minus 1 that is parallel to the straight line with equation 3x minus 6y minus 1 equals 0. So in general, this type of questions, when we have this kind of questions, we need to understand what they are asking us. We have a graph that represents the function f of x. I'm just giving you an example. This is not exactly what the graph would look like or anything. I'm just giving you an example. So, and we have a line. They want to know at which point on this graph of the function, if we draw a tangent line, at what point, if we draw a tangent line, this tangent line to this curve will be parallel to this line. So we need to find the coordinates of this point. The coordinates here has to be x and y of this point, where if we draw a tangent line, that tangent line will be parallel to the line given. Of course, this will not be the point, because if we draw a tangent line here, it will not be parallel to that. So there is a certain point on this curve, the tangent will be parallel to the line given. So this is the graphical meaning of the question. How we answer this? The first thing we need to know what we know about parallel lines. We know that they will never meet. This is the first thing. They will never intersect. And we know that the slope of tangent line are the same. So the slope of the lines, the parallel lines are the same. Slope of parallel lines are equal. So I can get the slope of this line because I know the equation, and the equation is 3x minus 6y minus 1 equals 0. If I rearrange this and write it in the form of y equal mx plus b, I can get the slope just m, the number in front of x. Or if I want to find the derivative of this, I will get the slope. But it is easier if you can write it in the form of y equal mx plus b. So I will send, so it will be y equal, I will send this to this side, so negative 3x, and I will send this to this side, it will be plus 1. Then I will divide by negative 6. So the slope will be 3 over 6. So the slope of this line is 1/2. Okay. So the slope here is 1/2, and this is what we have found now. And the question has turned to be something completely different, much easier. The question now is, at what point the tangent line to this curve will have a slope of 1/2. So all I need to do is to determine the derivative of this curve and equate it to make it equal 1/2 and solve for x, then substitute in the original function and find what will be y of this point. So again, the idea is we have two parallel lines, so the slopes are the same. We get the slope of this line, which is 1/2. So I need to find at what point the tangent will have a slope of 1/2. The slope of the tangent in grade 12 calculus, we call it derivative. So if I get the derivative and make it equal 1/2 and solve for x, I am answering this question. So what is the equation The equation is of the curve. I will do that in another color. So let's say black. Y equal ln x minus 1. So y prime will equal 1 over x minus, of course, the derivative of 1 is 0. So we need to know for what value so I will make that equal 1/2 because the derivative is the slope of the tangent is 1/2. So 1/2 equal 1 over x. So x equals 2. So in here we found out that x equal 2. If we draw a tangent line to the curve where x equal 2, we are going to that the slope of the tangent will be the same as the slope of the line. Both of them will equal 1/2 because they are parallel. Now I'm not done. I just get x of the point, and this is not enough. I need also y of the point. So this point lies on the curve and lies on the line, so I can use the equation of the curve, which is this, to find y of the point. So y will equal ln, instead of x I put 2, minus 1. So you can get the decimal or you can leave it in exact form, it doesn't matter. So the point is 2 and ln 2 minus 1. This is the answer for question 8. Okay, this is number 8. All right. I have another question, 9a. It says if f of x equal x ln x all squared, determine all the points at which the graph of f of x has a horizontal tangent line. We did an example like this yesterday, but I want to, since it is asked, I will do it. So we have function f of x equal x ln x squared. I don't know how the graph looks like, but any graph, whatever it looks like, when it has a horizontal tangent, that means the slope of the tangent is 0. That means we need to find where f prime of x equals 0. So this is the interpretation of the question. All we need to find is where f prime of x equals 0. So of course we have to find f prime of x. Oh, this is this is a little bit complicated. This is like f of x times g of x times g of x all squared. So we are going to use the composite function, so it will be 2 whatever inside, then the derivative whatever inside. We have to use product rule. So this is how we're going to do this. F prime of x. Consider this as one function. It will be 2 this function to the power of n minus 1, which is 1, times the derivative of whatever in here. This is 2 functions multiplied, so we have to use product rule. Product rule says first times derivative of the second. What's derivative of ln x? It is 1 over x. Plus second, which is ln x, times the derivative of the first, which is 1. So x and x cancels out. So the derivative is 2 x ln x times 1 plus ln x. Okay, in order to find all the values, I want to solve the equation of this and make it equal 0. So those are three things multiplied together. I can write this as 0 equal 2x ln x times 1 plus ln x. So I need to find the values of x that will make each one of those 0. So here 2x equals 0, that means x equals 0. Here ln x equals 0, that means e to the power of 0 equal x, so x equals 1. In here, ln 1 plus ln x equals 0, that means ln x equal negative 1, that means e to the power of negative 1 equal x. So those are the three values of x. One of these values is not right. Which one? Yes, I have to make sure that this is part of the domain of the function. When x is 0, I cannot calculate ln 0. X has to be greater than 0. Again, ln function looks like this. X cannot be 0 or less. X has to be greater than 0. If you press in your calculator ln 0, it will give you error. So this is not valid. Now I found x of the points where the tangent is horizontal, but I didn't find y yet. So what I need to do, yes, I need to use the original function. So I need to find f of 1, which will be 1 times ln 1 squared, which is ln 1 is what? E to the power of what equals 1? E to the power of 0. So this is 0. So we have the first point is 1 and 0. The second point is I will find f of e to the power of negative 1, which will be e to the power of negative 1 times ln e to the power of negative 1. Ln e to the power of negative 1, if I use the power rule, I can send the negative 1 to the front, and ln e will be 1, so it will be negative. E to the power of negative 1 is 1 over e, so the point here will be e to the power of negative 1, or 1 over e minus, and the y is negative 1 over e. These are the 2 points where the slope of the tangent is horizontal. I hope that I answered all your questions. Please try to do those questions by yourself again, and see if you can do them, and ask me questions if you still have trouble. Okay, have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day.